And hey, everybody. Wow, I've got three of you on already and a like. I guess there are people waiting for me here. Good to see everybody. I've got my computer screen sitting here, so I'm going to get that pulled up. You can see I've got a little bit of a different setup than what you usually do. That is actually my normal filming set for other things. I'm in my church office. That is my files with all of my papers and everything. I've actually got the Viewer Mail sitting right here. I am actually doing this on my phone instead of my normal big setup. So I don't have my big screen showing me all the chat and everything that I'm used to. So I've actually got my old church computer here that I'm going to be pulling up the stream. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, that's actually what I'm doing is I'm pulling it up so I can see your comments as you chime in. Uh, so it's a little different for me. I would stream off the computer here at church, but it's really old. So if I were to try to do a webcam on it and stream, it would just start chugging and it would be scary ugly. So like I said, we'll compromise just a little bit. And hey, look, I got an ad. Even I get ads when I watch my own videos. So boy, Tom, that just sounds kind of weird. but but it is good to see everybody there. You missed me. Where have I been, Hulk Shooter? I've been right here every Tuesday and Thursday. I think I did miss one Tuesday like 2 weeks ago. But other than that, go get my cat. My cats are in the garage. If you didn't know, by the way, if you haven't seen my regular Facebook, I've got a litter of kittens in my garage that are 7 weeks old. We're trying to get rid of them. I do have homes for two of them, I'm pretty sure. But hello Finland. Wow, very cool. So this is one thing you may not realize when I stream is there is a little bit of a time lag between various things. So my phone is streaming at one moment, and then what I'm actually seeing on my computer is just a little bit behind. It's one of the reasons why if we do games online, it's very hard to do a live game because there's anywhere from a 15-second to a 30-second delay. And so it makes it kind of awkward sometimes. But one of these times I want to do it again. Yeah, let's do the time warp again. Exactly, Craig. That's pretty much what was happening. Was there an interesting ad? I don't know. I just saw it was an ad and looked away. But I am doing good. I am happy to be here. Excited about everything that's been going on. So hopefully y'all can hear me real well, and the picture is good. I've got a couple different lights set up, so hopefully it's working pretty well. It looks pretty good on my end. Looks like pretty good even lighting. So yeah, nice shirt. There's this guy in Florida that likes to send me all these shirts, and he's pretty weird on roller coasters too. How are you doing, Barry? Good to see you. And I do actually have a package here from Barry, but I've got a couple other things. I got some postcards, and I've actually got an international package, which should be very interesting to see. So let me hit a couple of the things in the mail. I have already had a request to dig out my Cedar Point file, so I will be doing that. But if there is a certain park, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to dig into this for you. And I'm going to kind of let you call the shots. So if there is a certain park you want to know if I have anything for it, you can call it out and I'll open up the drawers and we'll see what I've got. Whether it's a new park, an old park, or whatever it might be. We can have a little bit of fun and kind of let you all call the shots there. Any chance I can do a meet and greet with my fans at some point when it's safe to do so? I do try to let people know when I'm going to be in the parks if I know I'm going to be there ahead of time. Silver Dollar City is the one that I'm at the most often because it's the closest. If I get to travel, I don't know that we're going to travel this year. We did have a plan to go down to Texas, and it got called off because the sessions and seminars we were going to do all got canceled. So I don't know. Right now, what little bit of money we've got, we are saving because I do hope to go to Japan. We'll see if that works out or not. I see a couple of you have already pulled out a couple things. Now, I have to warn you, Mariah, you mentioned Silver Dollar City. My Silver Dollar City folders are, seriously, they are like 8 inches just filled with stuff. It's just tons. So the Silver Dollar City stuff is harder to pull out. Oh, yeah, got that in the mail. The stimulus money, this was my splurge. That and a few pins. So, very cool book, too, by the way. It's got all sorts of Disney maps. So, the oldest Disney map I have, it's there. Well, let's see. Here in North Carolina, we're finally starting to reopen, and our stay-at-home orders have been lifted. Hopefully, here's something about when Tweetsy will open soon. Actually, Branson is starting to reopen. There are several shows that are scheduled to reopen in the next couple weeks. Bigfoot is open. The Big Ferris wheel is open. The Branson coaster, which is the Alpine coaster, is now open. Some of the go-kart tracks, not all of them. So there are various things that are starting to open, and it's starting to come alive. Anyone else get a video stall when I pulled up the maps book? I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll try and keep an eye on. Does the CEO of Silver Dollar City know about me? I don't know if Brad Thomas does or not. I know the PR team does because I talked to them. They are very aware of who I am and what I do. And most, well, I don't know if I want to say most of the employees, but a lot of the people who work at Silver Dollar City do. Some of the management definitely does. So I have talked to them. So what do I think about Blue Hawk at Six Flags Over Georgia? Blue Hawk, I assume, is the one that used to be Ninja. And I did not write it because when it was Ninja back in 2004, we wrote it and it was horrible. So I got my one right in then. I've heard it's supposed to be better, but I didn't write it when we were Six Flags Over Georgia. In fact, I actually talk about that in the blog there. So, okay, so I did have a couple mentions here. I want to get to them before I forget. Oldest Disneyland map I have. Okay. Let's see. So, Disneyland folder. This is actually Disney World. Goes from here to, let's see, there. Disneyland Paris, Hong Kong Disney, Disney Shanghai. There's my Disneyland. Okay. So, this is what I mean by a mess sometimes. That's Disneyland. Let's see. Swear your shelves are going to be so full that you'll have to start hanging things from the ceiling. I've got these 2 file cabinets that are full. I do actually have a third one, my old one that I was going to discard, and I ended up, I probably better keep it because these are about stuffed. Oldest Disneyland map would probably be the one from my very first visit. Second visit. I don't have one from my very first visit. So the oldest one I have is 1985. And let's see here. And it's a book. So this was how they did the maps back in the 80s. And then each different section of the book tells you about the different parts and little mini maps there. So that kind of gives you an idea. I've also got one for 1988. So that's the oldest ones I have. And then I jumped to 2001. That's the first time that we took my kids. I don't think I've got anything older than that. I do have them all kind of in order. So that is pretty much all maps. Starting off with 1985 and then going backwards. But I don't think I have anything older in there than that. That looks like the oldest one I got. So there you go. 1985 Disneyland. Let's see here. Go back. I want to make sure I get that. Kennedy Space Center. Yes, I do have stuff there. Get that put back in. Kennedy Space. When we lived in Florida, Kennedy Space Center was actually one of our favorite places to go. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. There it is. So that's Kennedy Space Center. And I've actually got a few things there. How about our annual passes for my kids? I'll tell you, we liked Kennedy Space Center. So I've got several brochures. That's one of the advertising brochures. And then we've got restricted area pass with actually a pin on there. You just participated in a special tour of Kennedy Space Center that took you where few have gone before. So I do have a couple collectible pins with capsules on them. We've got old tickets. Like I said, lots of brochures. And then I've also got the guided tours book. So I do have a few things here. And this is actually really kind of neat. The neat thing about the Kennedy Space Center is going on the tours. And as they reopen, they are not going to be offering those tours for a while because you have to ride a bus. And the visitor center is neat, but if you can't go on the tours, it's kind of like missing 2/3 of what's there to see. So, but yeah, we love Kennedy Space Center. Absolutely love it. Let's see, make sure you get that in the right spot. Kentucky, Kansas City. There. Don't want to put it in the wrong place, and I'll get myself all mixed up here. Likely smart to stay home this year. Yeah, with everything going on, if we do go anywhere this year, it'll be Silver Dollar City, and um, possibly Six Flags. We're looking at a couple zoos, and it's going to be ways to know that we can go and be safe. So on days that we know the crowds will be light, if there's if there's a reservation system, great. But I don't want to be out there on busy days like I would in the past. I don't want to be doing anything that could be risky to me, my family, or anybody around me. Uh, and unfortunately, I see way too many people. There's a lot of discussions about it, and way too many people aren't being careful. And so I'm kind of going, well, so we will wait and see. Um, we'll see. I hope to get out. We're actually looking at going to the zoo, the Dickerson Park Zoo in Springfield here next week or the week after if we can make it work. And again, limited crowds. So if you saw my Promised Land Zoo, we can do a few things, but we're going to be extremely cautious about how we do it. And that's what I would encourage everybody to do, is just to be safe. If it's a busy day, it's probably not going to be worth going. But I'll actually do all that kind of stuff on another video. I am looking at doing a video about that kind of stuff, so I'll talk about all that there. I don't want to bog this down. But yes, we're staying safe. Let's see. And Rachel just took off on me. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Let's see here. Bowling for soup. Or are you not so preoccupied? Let's see here. Really unfortunate Disneyland will more than likely miss out 65th anniversary. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get open. We'll see. So, have I anything on Dollywood? Of course, I have things on Dollywood. It's only been a couple years since I've been to Dollywood, but yep. Let me pull up the Dollywood file. Let's see. And then I got to get the mail. Let's see. So my Disney stuff, literally that a whole arm length. That's all Disney. And then I finally hit Dollywood right after Disney. Let's see here. That red folder. So there's Dollywood. Gives you an idea. And I'll try and open it up this way so you can get a better look. So we got a couple Dixie Stampede brochures. So 2004, they had Veggie Tales in the park for Kids Fest. So I've got the brochure. I do have the actual map book, show schedule, guide map. So this was back in the early 2000s. This was Dollywood's map that they had. And you can see now the park, if you go, they've expanded it all the way around. So it's a lot bigger than it was back then. Oh, we've got, let's see, they had started pin trading back then. So that was something I didn't participate in too much. Dollywood park tickets. We've got the Dollywood Love Every Month. So this was another big brochure that they had back in 2004, I believe. Yeah, has all their schedule on there. And they've got other brochures. And then from our last visit, let's see, other brochures that people have sent me. So I got a bunch of Dollywood stuff. This is actually the map from the last visit when we were there. And you can see the first map, it was this. And now they've added all this part to it. So it's a lot bigger now. A lot more to do. But yeah, love Dollywood. Dollywood was an amazing park. Amazing park. Let's see. Get that back in there. Let me hit a little bit of the mail here. Let's see. Have I got anything from SeaWorld? Which SeaWorld? There's 4 of them. You've got SeaWorld San Diego, SeaWorld Orlando, SeaWorld Texas, and then there was SeaWorld in Ohio for a while too. So, gotta let me know which one you want there. Let's see. Is it a good idea to go to church tomorrow? It greatly depends upon where you are, how many people are at the church, what the church is doing. There is no right answer on that. There's a lot of things that are very dependent upon what's going on and up to you. So I can't give you a straight answer. My church tomorrow will have about 10 people in the building, and we will all be spread out and spaced out. So let's see. Have you considered talking to Brad Thomas about fixing the train show? Brad Thomas doesn't pay attention to the train show. Brad Thomas looks at the overall park operation. The main supervisor and the attractions manager are the ones who worry about the train show. So yeah, Brad's kind of like, I let other people deal with that. So I got this postcard the other day from David Sid. It says, "Greetings, SirWillow. Came across this set of Bible verse postcards and thought I'd send one your way. Stay safe as you open to the public." So, in fact, that's actually relating to the church. I got a couple here from David, which were very nice, very encouraging. Let's see. Got one here from Barry, the same guy who sent me the shirt. Which, okay, here's the whole shirt, so that way you can see it. I actually opened it up on my last live feed. And card from Barry says, "Hello. Hi, my second job is taking insurance claims. I noticed over the last few months your area has had a lot of wind and hailstorms. Oh my goodness. I hope one of these storms did not blow you to Oz. We had one yesterday early morning, the night before. So Thursday night to Friday morning, it poured, no joke. In the course of about 5 hours, it dropped like 3 inches of rain. A couple of the stores up here had water that deep running through the store. Our creek was up in the park, and yeah, we get some crazy storms here. Lots of weird stuff, so just a ton of rain. Let's see here. Trying to keep up with the comments. Have a gas mask from World War One. Does that work as face protection? It might work. Let's see. Yes, Judy loves Dollywood. It's easy to love Dollywood. Great park. Would I ever consider writing my own books? Things like memoirs, vacation tips, etc. Really into reading different books on the parks and would love to know if you ever consider it. I actually have. I'll talk about that in 1 second. Wanted. Expert professional who can put up with eccentric coworkers, create order amid chaos, and work other miracles as needed. Couldn't have asked for anyone more wonderful than you. Happy Administrative Professionals Day. I don't know. I think I'm the one that's creating the mess so they have to clean up. Happy Administrative Professionals Day to all the secretaries, administrative assistants, and office support workers out there. They're the ones who take care of people like me. I actually did contact one of the theme park book publishing companies to possibly write down and do some of my stories and stuff in book form. And I had actually even given a proposal with an outline for chapters and stuff. And then just never followed up on it due to time. There is a part of me that considers the videos essentially as kind of that ongoing record. For me to do it well, just because of the time commitment, I would almost need a ghostwriter, and I am not that much of a draw. I don't think my book would make that much money. I don't see a ghostwriter being interested in doing it just because they wouldn't make money off of me. It would be fun, but I think the audience for it would be small. Just my opinion. Like I said, the one publisher thought it could be a fun book, but as we chatted a little bit, it was just something that I was realizing I didn't have the time to be able to put that kind of commitment in. So maybe someday. I don't think my life has been that special or that noteworthy. So let's see. Oldest overall map I have. I don't know. To be totally honest, it might be the Disneyland map I showed you from '85. I don't know if I've got anything older than that. The one I might... Let me see if I can find this here. Branson, Balboa. Okay. I'm trying to think of the other one I might have, and if I've got it in the files here or not. Okay, not there. The other one I have that might be older, and I'll show you why I'm not going to pull it out, is I think it was probably down in this drawer, down at the bottom, and you can see this drawer is a mess. And it's just got all sorts of stuff. But I do have a map from a park called Circus World that was in Davenport, Florida. Trivia thing for you. I actually, when I was working at Disney, we lived directly across the freeway from where this park used to be. It was actually built by Barnum and Bailey Circus around their winter quarters, and they had a whole theme park, and then it eventually became Boardwalk and Baseball, and then it closed down, and now there's actually a big strip mall there with a movie theater and a Target and a Cece's Pizza and a bookstore, and like I say, it was literally right exactly the other side of the freeway from us. Uh, I do have a map from Circus World. I don't, like I said, I think it's in that drawer, but I don't remember what year it's from. That might be the oldest. Otherwise, I said I think it's the Disneyland one. So, let's see. Let's see. Do I have any small park souvenirs? What's the smallest park I visited? If you do roller coasters, I did visit Bell's in Oklahoma. And actually, I bought a bell from them, and then my cat knocked it off and broke it. Still mad about that. So I've been to Bell's. There was a little tiny park in California called the Rotary Storyland, which had some fairy tale sets and stuff. It was a little tiny thing. And of course, I've been to family entertainment centers where you have some go-karts and a miniature golf and some stuff like that. So it depends upon if you call those a park or not. Fairy Tale Town in Sacramento was the first theme park I ever went to, and I was blessed to be able to take my kids. Just a really neat little tiny park with play sets built on fairy tales. So that may be the smallest, that or the Rotary Storyland. And I don't think they're so small they don't have maps. They've got some posted ones in the parks, but they don't have any souvenirs of those parks you can take home, which is kind of disappointing. I love stuff like that, and they got nothing. So, but yeah, that's probably the smallest ones. Let's see. Both the Dollywood locomotives came from Wild Pass and Yukon Railroad in Alaska. Very cool. Yeah, there's a couple of my guys. They can tell you all about the Dollywood trains. If Montana or Trevor happen to get on, they worked on the train at Dollywood. They can tell you everything. Montana, in fact, actually worked at Tweetsy as well, so he can cover both bases. Pretty amazing what he can tell you. Let's see here. Which SeaWorld? Either one, really. Remember, there's 4. Okay, give me just a second. I'll pull that out. You'll be spaced out at church. Guess truth in advertising. Thanks, Craig. Have I kept any Laker tickets? No, I never watched the Lakers. Why would I want to go see them? I might actually still have some of my old Sacramento Kings tickets because Sacramento. I'm from Sacramento. I did go with my uncle several times to old Golden State Warriors games when the Golden State Warriors were stinky before the Sacramento Kings existed. And I don't have any of that stuff anymore. I actually do have old pro wrestling programs. Here, this one? Yeah. Oh my goodness, if I can get it out. Okay, you want some history? This is kind of funny, actually. From, let's see, my high school football programs. But way back, let's see, there's Oakland A's stuff. Let's see if I can get down to this here. 1984. Superstars of Wrestling was still WWF. Jimmy Superfly Snuka versus Big John Studd. And you can see my notes. Even I wrote in about who won. And let's see, Hank Renner, who's our ring announcer, got his autograph on there. Okay, so here's another one. This was kind of not a good program, but this is Afa and Sika, who are the Wild Samoans, who actually lived in Sacramento area, and I didn't know it at the time. Very, very cool people. I've gotten to meet them a few times. But got their autographs on there. So yeah, old wrestling programs. What was really cool about, I've got all sorts of them. What was really cool about the way they used to do it at the old Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento was you could go, the wrestlers would hang around in the back and you were up close, and it's not like the big stuff now. So, anyways, not that has anything to do with theme parks, but I will get to the SeaWorld stuff. I will work on pulling that out. Let's see. Do I have anything from Legoland, Florida, and Opryland in Nashville? I do not have Legoland, Florida. What I do have is, Okay, I gotta get my names right here. Okay. What I do have actually predates Legoland. Where'd it go? Uh-oh. I have Cypress Gardens. And this was, we got to see it both when it was just the gardens and also when they added in the rides. We actually had passes for them when they had that. In fact, a little bit of history for you. The reason Cypress Gardens closed is the guy who bought the park owned Wild Adventures, put in all the rides, actually had a very nice park. But as he was building the rides and the coasters, that was the year that they had the 3 hurricanes that hit it, did a whole bunch of damage to the park that they had to rebuild and go into more debt to get that stuff rebuilt and then built again. In fact, that's why the one coaster, the old wood coaster, it's still there. It was called the Triple Hurricane because it was built with that. Well, the insurance company stiffed him, did not pay the damages, didn't cover what had happened, and that caused him to go bankrupt. And that's when it became available for Legoland to buy. So you can thank the insurance companies not paying their claims for Legoland to happen. But yep, Cypress Gardens, I've got a number of different things in here for them. There's another Cypress Gardens map. And we really liked Cypress Gardens. We had annual passes there for a couple years. Really liked the park. They've even got little cards. This is one of the postcards. You can see the Southern Bells. We were very happy to see when Legoland bought it that they kept the gardens. Thought that was absolutely wonderful because we love just going and walk around the gardens too. And yeah, my bracket on my file just broke. Live TV. I do have another card from Barry, another postcard, and I got the packages, and then I'll pull out the SeaWorld stuff here for you. Is there a holy grail in park map collecting? I don't know that I could say there is. I can't think of anything offhand. I do have a couple things from Opryland as well, which we stopped on our moving trip. Oh, you know what? That one's for my wife. It's always fun when I get cards that aren't mine. It's from Barry. For here, I'll show you. Mother's Day. So, which actually we just passed. That was opening day for us. One more here from David. Just a quick note to say thank you. Your social media, in your various sites, personal and church sites have been a godsend over the past weeks. So, thank you so much, David. We're happy we've been able to encourage. Let's see here. Griffith Park Carousel. I don't have anything on Griffith Park. And actually, I might make myself a liar on that. Ooh, hope that we're close. I got to get me a couple more brackets. Let's see. Do I have? Let's see, Legoland, California. Oh, wait. Okay. Correction. Here. I do have a Legoland, Florida folder. So, I have not been to Legoland, but I do have a French map. There you go. Legoland, Florida. So, yes, I do have some. See, I have so much stuff, I don't even always know what I have. And then here's the English version of it as well. So, it will all fold out. So, there is Legoland, Florida for you. Let's see, Griffith Park. If I have it, do I have it? Aha! This is the closest I can get to Griffith Park for you. The LA Zoo. And, goodness, I don't even know if these are from when I was there. I've been to the LA Zoo 3 times. Okay, here's a fun LA Zoo story for you. When we were living in Southern California, my wife was teaching, and one of her annual field trips was to the LA Zoo. She was doing elementary school at the time. And the kids knew me. When it comes to teaching, I tend to be a disciplinarian, and I've got the real nice dad voice, you know, the sit down and do what you're supposed. So I can kind of scare the kids into behaving a little bit. So when we would go to the zoo, she would give me her troublemakers as I would help chaperone. And so we're going around to the zoo one time. I had 4 boys who were known troublemakers. I kind of given bad time that if you don't behave, I'm going to hold your hand. which for fourth graders is like horrible. Well, and towards the end of the day, we are good to see you popping in. End of the day, we're in the gift shop, and I'm watching him like a hawk, and I see one of them drop a necklace in his pocket. Give him a few minutes, walk over. So, are you going to put that back, or what you going to do? Caught a kid shoplifting. Like, so, in fact, the kid actually messaged my wife a while ago and said, "Hey, you remember me? I'm the one your husband caught." Like, great. So, oh, let's see here. Hi, Rachel. Call me SirWillow. Call me George. Call me Pastor. Just don't call me late for dinner. I'm not that picky. Oh, let's see. Currently writing my own series of children's books inspired by Thomas the Tank Engine. That is very cool. That really is. I love reading stuff. We've got a friend here in town who writes books. They're not ones I read. They're more like Harlequin things, but like it's really cool. We know somebody, and we actually have an old missionary friend named Jeanette Wendell that we knew in the past, and she writes books. Writes some incredible books. So, which map has the most sentimental value to you? I don't know. I would almost say that, again, probably default towards the Disneyland ones. I don't know if I have Great America ones. You know, weird. The other park I grew up at, Marriott's Great America, I don't know if I have something from them. As I'm thinking about it, do I have a Marriott's map? Mall of America. Okay, well, there's something that I am missing. Disneyland's probably the oldest one I've got. So the other park I grew up at was Marriott's Great America in Santa Clara. It's now called California's Great America. And just, really, I love that park. Grew up at it. And yeah, I've got a beautiful book that somebody sent me that's actually on the shelf over here. Here, one of my back. Yeah, great view of my chair. One of my background books. I absolutely love this book. But I'm just realizing I don't think I have any brochures or anything, which is a horrible thing. This has some awesome pictures in it. So it probably would have to be the Disneyland maps. So, long answer for that, I know. Let's see. Somebody's quoting Haunted Mansion here. I am so far behind on this chat now. Was the park so small the key to the front door will break the rear of the park? Yeah, I've been to a couple. Do I have anything on Knott's Berry Farm? I do. Tell you what, let me catch a couple of these mail packages here real quick. I'll catch these two, and then I'll pull up the Knott's Berry Farm. Like I said, I did have somebody earlier ask about Cedar Point as well and SeaWorld. So I got a few things to pull up now, and I'm just going to be way behind on some of these things. Yeah, old school wrestling. A&E is a little bit like it. They at least pull some other stuff. Okay, so this is from Mrs. Let's see if we can get the sticker off. Michelle Siles from Humble, Texas. And if you say it right, in Texas, it's Humble. It's not humble. The California me wants to say humble, but I was correct on that. Oh my goodness. Got this in either 88 or 96 when I visited Disney World. D-World. Hope you enjoy it from Michelle. This is very cool. Check this out. Oh my goodness. How awesome is this? Now see, I love things like this. And in fact, I've got an old Disneyland one too. Very similar. That's also on my shelf over there. And yeah, this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, how cool. Thank you so much. Yes, you bet I'll enjoy it. This is when I will go back and I will look through. Okay, here's a fun thing for you. Right on the first page, check out the characters and how they look. Donald looks a little different now. That is awesome. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Michelle. And then the package from Barry. And then, like I said, I've got the big international one there, and then I'll dig in some more maps after this package. So, hello in Chicago. Good to see you. Ever team up with Hulk Hogan in the ring? I've actually never met Hulk. So, met a number of the others. I actually had a high school friend who did pro wrestling, so he knew a lot of the guys personally. He was one of the guys that lost, but, he had a decent career there. So, yeah, kind of neat that the guy I went to high school with. So we got our hellos again. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? You know I had to sing, Craig. Okay. Let's see. Soon Spaceship Earth will close for its redo. Will we still be able to choose our future? Will we see the backside of Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs. See if I can talk. Blah, blah, blah. Will we still be able to thank the Phoenicians? We will find out soon. Here's a teacher to celebrate the soon-to-be-closed current version of Spaceship Earth. And there's rumors that redo might be on hold, but we will see. And there is the shirt. Oh, that's very cool. I'm going to miss Spaceship Earth when they change it. I really like the version they've got in there now. So, oh, great. Thank you, all of you, Rachel and Craig. You're going to make me sing some more, guys. Marine Land of the Pacific. I don't know. Okay. Let me try and hit back some of these things that people have asked for. I haven't pulled up yet. So back to the bottom drawer. Okay, so let me kind of make you laugh over SeaWorld because let's see if we can pull this up here. Ugh. SeaWorld. Okay, this is Orlando. This is California. This is Texas. Most of it is Orlando. As I hold it, that is all Orlando, the whole red section in front there. And then I do have, let's see, the Texas and California are smaller. Let me set that down because if I don't, I'm going to drop it. This is both Texas and California. And I do have brochures there. And I actually have official mail from them. Ooh, I'll have to look at that. Park maps. Let's see, this is, I think, give me a second, I'll tell you in a second if that's Texas. That's San Diego. So, and I actually, my last time at SeaWorld in San Diego was when they opened up their version of Journey to Atlantis. I do like Florida's better. Let's see, so I have the maps. I do have brochures for San Antonio right there. I don't know that I have one from Ohio. Actually have some Orlando ones. They're in the wrong folder. They should be in the other one. San Diego again, San Antonio. So let me put the Orlando ones where they belong because the OCD in me will have a fit. Here, there's some older things here in the in the Florida one. Let's see, how about a teacher's guide for there? I have souvenir books from SeaWorld. And this is one they would actually sell at all of the parks. So it would be that way. And I've got, let's see, teaching things. Because when we lived in Florida, they would send us their teaching material. There is another souvenir book for you. And then that's all maps and stuff. So SeaWorld was another one that we had annual passes to when we lived in Florida. When we lived in Florida, we maintained annual passes at the Busch Gardens and SeaWorld parks because we love those, whether we work in Disney or not. Universal, we would kind of keep passes every other year, so that way we could keep it within price range because they were decent priced. Cypress Gardens, we had passes. Of the 7 years that we were down there, we probably had passes for 3 years because it was closed for a little while. And then we didn't our last couple of years when they were going through some of the financial stuff. Disney, we couldn't afford Disney. If I hadn't worked at Disney, we never would have gone. Okay, now I got to get this thing back in. All right. I need another file cabinet. I'm trying to remember who else I said. Marine Land of the Pacific. Okay, just a second. I got folders coming up there. Marine Land of the Pacific. I think I do have something. Nope, I've got Marine Land, Florida. I don't have Marine Land of the Pacific. So there is an opening for you. Uh, sorry, Galili. There's an opening. Marine Land of the Pacific, I think, actually closed before I started collecting things. And I never actually made it to that one either. So that would be why there's not anything there. Have I thought about starting my own TV show or doing a voiceover? Oh, sure, I've thought about it. If you know a Hollywood producer who wants to hire me, unfortunately, you've really got to have connections. Look at Brian Hull and how popular he's become on YouTube and various other things. And Brian Hull just last year started getting voice work like that. So, and Brian Hull is far and away better than me. So, yeah, you've got to get a good agent and be available for him in Hollywood and other stuff. So sure, I could dream, but ever watch Thunder in Paradise? Hulk Hogan? It was horrible, terrible movie. Got enough magnets? Okay, so here's the magnets. Since y'all are noticing these, you can see that they go all the way down. Let me come around here, give you another little look because they're also. Let's see if I can do this right. Trying to hold. Okay, so there's the side of it, and you can see that they go down there. And then we're not done yet. I'm going to try and do this slow so I don't give you motion sickness. My business file cabinet, I have them there. And then I've also got them over here on the side again. So yes, magnets are really the one thing that I collected early on. Because they're small, they're generally inexpensive, they're easy to transport. So, and then once viewers caught on that I collect magnets, I've gotten a whole bunch more, which is really cool. So yeah, magnets and brochures are probably the two main things I collect, and pins. So covers it. Yeah, I love my magnets. They're cool. What's fun is when I have people come into my church office and I look and they go, "Wow, that's awesome." So, yeah, and I actually at one point I had a big sheet of metal that I put up on the wall that I put them on, and it outgrew that long time ago. Thinks if I get any more magnets to Earth, we'll get a new pole. Yeah, okay. I actually just added a couple on here. In fact, okay, here's one of the oldest things in my collection. This is actually from Frontier Village in San Jose. I never got to go to this park, but it is a magnet from the park. That's actually why it's kind of curved and why it was on the ground. Every now and then I have to kind of gently reflatten it. But that's one of the oldest things I've got in my collection. From the 70s, I think. So, let's see. Fridge has more magnets than food. Yeah. Let's see. The ride like Buzzsaw at Dream World roller coaster at Magic Spring, Arkansas. What, Trevor? I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Trevor. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Legolands are great parks. I've been to the Legoland in California. We loved it. Okay. I am so far behind. Wow, I'm really far behind, aren't I? Okay, so I'm going to end up trying to get caught up, which means I'm going to miss some of this. May not be able to go tweets this year. Dallas is a big-time capsule. Let's see. Why am I not president? I don't want to be president. No, thank you. Thought the home computer guy was Woz, not Jobs. There's actually a huge argument and discussion about that on the computer guy at Spaceship Earth. If it's Steve Jobs or if it's Wozniak, he's got hair more like Woz. Disneyland has said it's a generic guy representing all of those who started computers in the garage. So it could be the Dell guys too, but I think more people think it's Woz. But should have 32 million subs. I'd love to have 32 million, sort of. It would be awesome because of the income and everything, and I could do stuff, and I could have a production team. But at the same time, it would mean I couldn't do some of the other stuff I do. That would be nuts. I don't know. I don't know if I would want 32 million subs as I think about that. That would be crazy. So, where's the love for SeaWorld, Ohio? I wish, Craig. I haven't had anybody send stuff to me, and the first time I got up there, it was already Six Flags Worlds of Adventure. So, I don't... If you got something, send it to me. Yeah. Imagination Pavilion needs an update. Completely agreed. Am I going to Disney when it opens again? Right now, I have absolutely no plans to go to Disney. and I'm just gonna have to skip down. Uh, I don't have any plans for Disney really in the next couple of years, except maybe Japan, simply because budget. I would love to go down. I have been incredibly blessed to be able to go to Disney World 4 times in 2 years. That was amazing. And then Disneyland on top of that. I didn't expect any of that. When I started the channel about a year and afterwards, year and a half, everybody that was watching kind of said, "Hey, we got to get SirWillow to Disney again," because it had been 8 years almost. And so everybody, I had a bunch of people on the channel chip in and basically covered my costs, and I did it as cheap as I could, and it had an incredible time. And then I had another viewer said, "Well, that was awesome. You want to go back?" Well, yeah. You want to take your whole family? Yeah. And it covered my costs. So he paid for almost everything. Who am I going to say no to a free trip to Disney? And the way it worked out, the expenses actually ended up covering a big portion of an annual pass for me and my daughter. We thought, well, you know what? I can manage to find plane ticket money. So we bought passes. So we got to go again in February, cheap, using various things. And then we knew we had a business trip in July of that year as well. So, hey, we'll be in the area. We did some string pulling and got a couple of friends in with some free tickets. So really, we actually did 3 trips to Disney off of one, which was amazing. And then the same guy that covered that October trip covered us again to Disneyland, again, covering the plane, the tickets, and the whole bit. And then the trip I had to Paris was another supporter of mine that covered it. So really, those trips to Disney were wonderful, and they were provided for me because we live off of a teacher salary and a small church pastor that doesn't pay. So I would love to go Disney. Budget isn't there. We're trying to save because my daughter's going to go to Japan. I would really like to go to Japan and see her and use it as my excuse to go to Disneyland. So that's the hope. The hope is that we may be able to do that next year. So thank you so much, Rick Carr. Oh my goodness, that was amazing and unexpected. Yes, you just blessed my weekend. So would I be willing to put in a prayer for my friend Ashlyn? Yes. Send me a note through Facebook or something, Jonah, and remind me. And I would appreciate that. Let's see. With that many subs, you'd have the world's largest navy. Nice. Let's see. Did I like Star Wars Episode 9? Yes, I did. Actually, I've liked all the Star Wars movies. The prequels, okay, the very first prequel was but I have otherwise enjoyed them. Thoughts on the rules for Universal's reopening? I'm actually going to hold off on that. I am planning on doing a video on parks reopening and the procedures and stuff. And so I'm going to try and hit all of that in that video. So look for that in the next week or so. And we'll go from there. So, said in the coaster video, you like, there's a roller coaster like Buzzsaw Coaster at Magic Springs X Coaster. Oh, I'd like to get down to the coasters in Arkansas. I have not been to any of the rides in Arkansas, Trevor. So I couldn't tell you much about them because I haven't been on them. So, any patrons want to send a person like me to Disney? This will sound kind of goofy, Jennifer, but I have found that when you don't expect it, but when you work hard to do other stuff, blessings come. Especially when you try to bless others. I haven't ever expected it. And I think that's part of the reason that we have been so blessed is because I've never sought after those blessings. And every now and then somebody misunderstands what I say, but thinking that, but really, I'm just amazed. I do this as a hobby, and that's all I ever expected. So I'm amazed when that stuff happens. So, let's see. Do I have any misprint maps or programs or anywhere? None that I've paid any attention to. I'm not one of those that goes, oh, look, it's an error. It must be worth more. These are just stuff you pick off at the racks at hotels or the people send me, or when you walk into a park, you can pick them up. So it's nothing that I'm collecting as a collector's item kind of thing, which is when you'd be looking for the errors. So as an example, if you're an old stamp collector or a baseball card collector, you love the misprints and the error cards because they're rare and so they're worth more money. It's not a big deal with this. This is kind of my thing. It's not a serious hobbyist kind of thing. So, Let's see here. Oh, yeah, Jennifer, I figured you probably were. It's this is going to sound weird. So this is not you, Jennifer, or anybody else, but I have actually had a few people say, "So what's your secrets to getting free trips?" Um, yeah, even if I had a secret like that, I wouldn't tell you that. So let me try and attack this box. This is from, let's see here. See if I can get this right. The funny thing is the customs tag actually got ripped. It is from Australia. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. Yeah, wonder what that's alluding to. Here we go. It's from Cassie Hall, which I knew that, but I was just going blank. So I'm going to start working on this. So you're going to hear some noise as I chat and talk. Will I be uploading anything on Branson about what's open and what's going to be new? Okay, so Branson has just started to open. There are some shows that have announced. The Haygoods are going to be reopening. The Duddens are reopened. The Hughes brothers are reopened. Six is coming up a little bit. Grand Country Theater. They're all going to be opening with reduced capacity, but they are all starting to reopen. The Giant Ferris wheels open. The Alpine coasters open. So there are a number of things like that. It's easier to point to some of the online newspapers because there is so many things happening. There's so much in Branson. I could spend, seriously, 30 minutes just reciting stuff in Branson and whether it's open or not. That would get boring very quickly. So, would I do a meet and greet in Denver, Colorado? So, Chandler, are you going to pay for me to go to Denver, Colorado? And that's facetious. I'm not serious. I don't have money to go to Denver. I would love to go, but so no, there's no plans to do a meet and greet because I don't have any plans to go because it's not in the budget. And even if I had budget, I don't. If I got a choice between going to Disney Tokyo and seeing my daughter in Japan and Denver, Denver's not on my priority list. It's just not. And even the the Japan trip is questionable. We took a portion of the stimulus money and put it in savings. I've been working on getting some other credit card things paid off and some other stuff so there can be some room. I honestly don't know if that's even going to happen. I hope, but until that is secured, there's no plans to do anything else that's going to cost me any money. I can do Silver Dollar City for next to nothing. I can do Six Flags St. Louis for next to nothing. And that's the only things, and maybe a couple zoos locally. But I don't have any plans to go anywhere else, and it's just money as much as anything. So if you're going, do you have plans to go to? No. I would like to. I would love to. If I had an opportunity to, I would, but I don't have any plans. So, and again, I'm not saying, hey, I want you to pay my way. I'm not saying that. I'm not expecting that. I'm just saying it's not in the plans at this point. So, I hope that covers that okay. Let's see. Oh, Cassie's on. How awesome. So, best secret for getting free stuff. Have a passion for what you love. Yes. And be a nice person. There's this thing that if you bless other people, it comes back to you. So, okay, let's see. So, SirWillow, I have 2 letters here. I'm going to open up the one because the other one says more private, so we will keep it that way. And then we will get into what's in the box. Oh, and I still have to show the Cedar Point stuff, too. Okay, guys, here's your reminder. Don't let me forget to show the Cedar Point stuff. Because I have one viewer who wasn't going to be able to be here, but asked me to show it, so I want to make sure I do that, too. Okay. Letter with Minnie. Dear SirWillow, thank you once again for your wonderful and positive contribution to the world. Inside, you'll find some things I picked up at Movie World on the Gold Coast last June that I've been meaning to send. Okay, and see, Australia is a big hole in my collection, so this is very cool. The larger item in your package was part of an organization fundraiser where $2 from every one of these sold goes to the Gold Coast Community Fund. In any case, thank you once again, Cassie Hall. Ooh, this should be fun to see. It rattles. Oh, Amber, Princess Willow. Okay. So, Cassie, let me know if you want me to open this one up on air. This is for my daughter. And then I can give it to her later. You know, in fact, there's one here for Joseph as well. And then for my wife and daughter, they're actually all out in other places. We got a family that just moved in town that needed some help. And so I was over there a little bit earlier today, helping them out. Let's see. In fact, my daughter just posted to me that they just got the other stuff. Oh, this is cute. This. Okay. Let's see if I can get this set here. And I'm going to have to back up a little bit so we can do it right. What's up, Doc? I love it. Absolutely love it. That is awesome. I'm just going to leave that on for the rest of the time. And then there's a Tasmanian devil pin. It's actually in there upside down. That way you can see it properly. That is very cool. Oh, let me see. Have I heard anything about when Silver Dollar City will open? They have said nothing. I know they want to get open this year. They have not called their employees back in off of furlough, so that means they are at least 2 weeks away, but they haven't said anything. I don't know what's going on there. And the people who do know don't have permission to talk to me. So, no idea. Let's see. Oh, Jedi figure. Okay, here's the back of the shirt. Let me try and get that for you. There. It is. May the spark be with you. So hopefully you can see that okay. Cassie, go for it. Okay. So let me show you what she sent my son and daughter. So for my son, there is, let's see if I can get this, a Joker pin. That is very cool. And the best part is they're not able to watch live, so they can't know what they're getting. And then for my daughter, see if we can get this open. Have I been to the Wonders of Wildlife at Bass Pro? I actually did a video from there. So yes, I have been there. Do a quick search on the channel, and I can't post on the phone. That's one of the downsides of being on the phone. But if you do a search on my channel for Wonders of Wildlife, I do have that on there. And then for my daughter, there's a note here, which I won't pull out, but there's a very nice little keychain there. And my daughter actually collects keychains, so a lot of times when I get the keychains, that's where they go. And that looks like Tweety Bird. Yep. So there we go. That way you can see it properly. For my wife, this is a very nice little package. It really is. There is. Oh, that's cute. Bugs and kisses. That is awesome. And then this other item, Cassie and I have messaged about a little bit. And I can't wait to show this to Amber. If y'all like my red custom Disney shirt that I have with the big Mickey Mouse on the back, Cassie actually is the one who made that for me. Custom made. And this looks amazing. So this is Amber's. Let's see if I can get this unrolled here. And it is a Tinkerbell dress that she is going to absolutely love. Oh my goodness. Cassie, I can tell you, she's going to absolutely love that. That is going to be stunning. So, if I think about it, if I can remember it when I see her, I will try to video her reaction for you. She will love that. That is so cool. Okay, let me tuck those back in so that way I can take them back to them. Thank you so much, Cassie. That really is awesome. That's amazing. Amazing stuff. I'm going to drive him crazy with the ears. I better take them off because I can feel them falling off. Love Bugs Bunny. Which way did he go? Which way did he... I think we made a wrong left turn at Albuquerque. Wrong turn at Albuquerque. I'm misquoting him all over the place. It's terrible. Most infamous coaster you rode? Son of Beast. That's an easy question. Would I be going to Silver Dollar City when it opens first day? No. If I go, I hope to be able to possibly get a pre-opening tour from PR, or I will only go on days I know it won't be crowded. And that first day, it's going to be crowded and people are going to be dumb. I am a high risk person. I know too many people that have had it. I've had friends that have died from it. I'll just leave it at that. No, I am not going first day for anything. Other people can do that. Not me. So, um, let's see here. And it sounds like my wife is walking in. Hey, hon. Since you walked in. Okay. Hey. Oh, okay. Yep. She's a mess.
Can you give me about 5 minutes?
This is from Cassie for you.
Well, I will.
Okay.
5
Well, I'll probably be off in 5 minutes. We'll see. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I like going to Silver Dollar City during the week when schools are in session, except there's no school right now, so that's not going to be a help. Let's see. SirWillow, what is PR? Public relations. Public relations are the ones that, for the media days when they're opening a brand new ride and you get all the TV cameras and news reporters and all of that kind of stuff. PR is the one that handles all that. Anytime I go to visit a park, and I mean, if I'm going to plan on filming anything, I contact PR first. Same thing with museums and zoos. I always contact them and say, hey, I'm going to be doing this. I'm not a very big YouTube channel, but I am planning on filming stuff for YouTube. I would like to know what your guidelines are for filming, what your suggestions are. Is there anything I need to be aware of when I'm there? So everything I film is always done with permission of the park, under their guidance, and in some cases, their supervision. So as an example, when I went to the big Ark Museum in Kentucky and the Creation Museum, I contacted their PR, explained what I was doing, and I actually had a media badge I wore because they don't always allow people to film the way I was filming. So they wanted to make it clear to the employees that I was okay to film. So I've had some places that give me extraordinary access. Most of the time, it's just, hold on to this letter from us and you'll be good. It's why at Six Flags Over Texas, when we went there, they don't even like to allow tripods in. And I've got my cell phone sitting on my Mini, but even something like this, Six Flags Over Texas, is kind of like, and I had to pull out my letter from the PR department, public relations, and say, see, it's okay. So that was a good thing to have that. Cedar Point, thank you. See, I knew I would get talking and forget it. But PR, if you're ever going to film in a park, it's always a good idea to contact them ahead of time, talk to them, and work things through to make sure you've got permission so you don't get in trouble. And they will be the ones to tell you, don't film on ride. Let's see. Cedar Point. Okay, Busch Gardens. Worlds of Fun magnet that fell off. Let's see. Where's my Cedar Point? There it is. So for all those who think I hate Cedar Point and I'd never go, I've actually got a pretty decent sized folder of Cedar Point.
I'm here, George.
Oh, okay. So my wife is here. This is from Cassie in Australia.
I just showered, so forgive me for looking
Where
showered.
Just put it? Oh, it's right on top. And wait till you see this dress she's made for Amber. Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
This is how I look with a shower, guys. Sorry
Okay,
about
so
that.
there she is.
Oh, look how cute, George.
Yep.
Very
We snuck a peek before you got here, so.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you.
What's the loudest thing you ever heard? My wife screamed at me after I took my daughter on X.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Cedar Point.
Thank you.
Let me just try to hold it up, and I've got a variety of things in here. I have a Castaway Key map. I've got, why do I have Carowinds stuff in here? Wrong folder. Let's see. The weekends. This is from my first visit to Cedar Point in 2001, the one that got rained out and I didn't get to do nothing. So I do actually have the maps from there. I have the maps from my second visit in 2002 when I did actually get to ride most of the stuff, which was a lot of fun. Let's see. Got a 2002, another guide map and brochure. One was just the brochure, one's the actual map. We've got, let's see. Not sure. Let's see, 2005 brochures. They were sent to me from a friend. Got other advertising things you pick up in the area and along the way. Cedar Point Family Gateway Guide. We've got just your the area books, and hey, look, it's Cedar Point on the cover. That's a big shock. Let's see, what is this? Oh, I actually have from the visit when we got to ride things. I actually have my notes on the coasters I took so I could remember to write my review properly. So, yeah, this is just a couple things to help me remember what I thought of a coaster. Because we'd hit so many coasters, I was afraid I would forget a couple of them. Let's see, 2017 Park Maps and Brochures. That was my last visit. Gosh, is it 17 or 18? I don't know, 18 was the last time I visited. 18, there's the brochure from last visit. 17 was from a viewer. And then other brochures from people. I actually have my picture card from when I was there in 2018 that we used to buy the pictures. Big giant map. I've actually got a couple of the souvenir bags. But then if you really want big maps, Cedar Point sells these most years. Six Flags used to, but you can see it's a full poster. And you can go all the way there. And I was like, yep, definitely got to have that one. So that is all of my Cedar Point stuff. And I do actually have my meal wristbands in here too. So I keep everything. It's terrible. So even those sticky throwaway bands for your all-day dining and for your ride pass for the day, yep, I keep those as well. Let's see. Your most recent Cedar Point trip was the best to the meet and greet. Yeah, it was a great trip. It really was. Although there was this one guy that came and hung around. You know, sometimes you get those guys that hang around you. You just kind of like, can you go away? And he was not far off my age, and he didn't ride the coasters. He was afraid of them. He just said he stepped through Magnum, and yeah, hey, there, I've been on it. He's weird, strange. What was his name again? It was like Craig or something like that. His last name sounds like you're drinking a Coke. So, let's see here. By the way, if you didn't guess, I'm teasing Craig there. Why do I always imagine you're saying Cider Point than Cedar Point? I don't know. I know how to say Cedar Point. My tongue does get tied sometimes, so I say things I shouldn't. Carowinds I would really love to go to at some point. Really love to, but we'll see. Okay, let me get Cedar Point back in here. Canada. Let's go right there. I gotta fix that now or replace it. I need like 3 new things for that. Have I heard any strange booms? I'm not quite sure what you're talking about there, Mr. Higginbottom. Favorite board game to play with the family? My family doesn't play board games. I love board games, and they don't play them. I used to love Axis and Allies. We played that in college, had a blast. Played Risk. I've got the Civilization board game. We've got, oh gosh, what's the one with the trains now? And I'm going blank on it. Apples to Apples we really enjoy. I love board games. My family's like, eh. It's Ticket to Ride. Thank you so much, Shona. Yes, that's it. So it's kind of sad. Thank you so much, Shona. We appreciate that offer too. Ever visited Hard Rock Park? No, I didn't. It was open and gone before we ever got a chance to get up there. So late for dinner. Thanks, Rachel. When is the live watch party? You mean for the games? We definitely want to do another online gaming session. I don't know when exactly we will. Things just have not come together for us to be able to get the group. But we would like to, excuse me here, I just got a message. I want to make sure it's... Craig's giving me a bad time. Cola sounds like drinking a Coke. Coca-Cola. Cola. I love being able to razz Craig right back. So, I don't know when we're going to do another online gaming session. At some point we will, and I will try to let people know ahead of time. Part of it, I've loved the Jackbox games because they can get people watching involved in the game as the audience and voting and feeling like they're taking part rather than just watching. But Um, oh, okay. I'll come back to that in just a second, Mike. I would love to do a Disney version, but there is not a Disney version out there. There isn't a Disney thing I can do online with people, and so that's why I haven't done one like that. The watch party with my old vids, I don't know if I'll do that again. I might. I covered kind of a lot of the old videos that way, and I don't want to do stuff to the point where it gets old and rehashed. So, but we'll see. Never know. I might try again in a few months. There may be some other stuff coming up. Toontown Online. I actually did Toontown Online. I was actually playing Toontown Online last night with my nieces and nephews. The only issue with Toontown Online is the regular viewer can't join in. If you do a building run, you can only do it with 3 other people. There's just limited stuff that you can do with other people with it. It's something that if you're watching, I don't know. A lot of people don't necessarily like to watch people play video games. So, would I ever consider moving back to Orlando or Anaheim? Nope. No intention to ever move back to California again. Cost of living is nuts. Okay, to give you an idea, a house around here that would cost you $100,000, $140,000 in that area would cost you over $1 million. That's insane. Absolutely insane. My dad lives up in the Sacramento area. The house he bought in 1972 for $24,000 would now, for various things, the cheapest it would go for would be $300,000. So we don't have that in our budget. No way. That, and I've got issues with the politics of the state. But that's a whole nother thing that isn't appropriate for the channel. So we'll leave it at that. But no, never any intention to move back. I love to visit. It's expensive even to visit, though. So let's see here. Fell face first. Maybe a stretch. Do I have any old photos or even home movies of being at a theme park during your childhood? Don't have any home videos. My dad did not do movie cameras, so we don't have that. We have a few pictures that I've actually shared. Most of the pictures I've got. If you saw the video about the park, they couldn't have a park like this anymore, about Marine World, there's a couple old photos of me in there as a kid. I've posted the couple old ones I have of Disneyland. We really didn't take pictures at California Adventure, Marriott's at the time, because we were just there to ride rides, not take pictures. Pictures were more expensive back then, too, because you had to have film. And none of us were good picture makers. My camera was a 110 Instamatic, and I was terrible about them. And then, of course, you have to pay for the film and pay to get it developed. And my dad had a 126 camera, which the picture of my sister falling, which I did actually get that picture, by the way. That's one of the few pictures he had that came out decent. Most of his pictures were not good. In fact, if you've seen the picture of my sister and I with Mickey Mouse while he's signing an autograph, and we're cut in half. And my dad gives me a bad time that I don't know how to take pictures. I'm like, well, look at your great. But we have very few. We were too busy going and doing stuff to stop and take pictures. So yeah. And yeah, no movies. I wish. Updates on Silver Dollar City opening. No, don't know thing. I don't know if they know yet. So be careful trashing California. I love California, Tom. Don't get me wrong. I really do love California. It's a beautiful state. It's a gorgeous state. There's just things there. So, let's see. Oh, big stack of Disney World brochures from the 90s. That would be really cool. So, okay, here. This will be my California joke for you. When we were living in Texas, we've been there for 2 years. We were at a big picnic with a whole bunch of people and talking to this old gentleman who was like, I ain't never been out of state. I ain't never going to go. Too many Yankees up there. And he was doing this big, long soliloquy about Yankees versus Southerners in Texas. And so I thought I was going to rib him a little bit. And, well, okay, so you're talking about the Yankees up north. You got the Southerners down here. You got the Texans. My wife and I are from California. We're not Yankees and we're not Southerners. What are we? And he looks at me and he goes, you're from the land of fruits and nuts. And I was like, you win. So there you go. Well, let's see. During the Halloween season, Frollo actually shoved some people aside to get up to me. Ended up being picked to meet it. Ooh, Disneyland Paris after the Castle Show. That's really cool. That's really cool. Big fan of Instamax. Have a couple of converts take 35 millimeter film. If you look at some of my older photos, if you actually go to my photo site, which is sirwillow.smugmug.com, so you can actually see all my pictures that way, all sorts of stuff. If you look at the older ones, those are actually shot on Kodak Fox 35 millimeter cameras. So I did used to shoot 35 millimeter. My old Disneyland pictures, those are all 35 millimeter. From several of the pictures from when we moved to Florida, there's a mix of 35 millimeter and a Kodak digital camera. But a lot from that time period. Costa Rica is all film, I believe, if I'm remembering right. So there's a lot of my older stuff from like 2005, 2006 maybe, and earlier is all 35 millimeter. So let's see. Might go back to bed. Set an alarm to watch, but I'm struggling. I understand. Thank you again so much, Cassie. And actually, it's probably a good time. Goodness, an hour and 15 minutes. So I can pull open a couple other folders real quick, or we can wrap up. It looks like we've got 60 of you still here. So, yeah, we're Holly. California Navy, you adore that fruits and nuts jokes. I think most of us who've grown up in California just totally, yep. That's it. Because it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum. There are just some people there that they are just in their own little world. but I'm going to let you guys make the call. I can either go for another 15 minutes here, or pull open another folder or two, or answer some other questions. Let's see. When in '97 we were in Disney, had 35 millimeter and an ammo belt to hold the film. Yep. If you look at the old photographer vests, they had a bunch of little pouches along them that looked like an ammunition belt, and it was meant to hold film. If you had your camera on a strap, you would actually have the little canisters on the strap, so that way they would hold the film. And then of course you use those little canisters for all sorts of stuff, stacking coins, keeping push pins, and oh yeah, the canisters were great stuff. Oh, did I get the Knott's Berry Farm folder? No, I did not. Thank you. Let's see. That one's Disney. Knott's Berry Farm. Kansas City. Kennedy. Kennywood. Kentucky Kingdom. King's Dominion. Knobles. Who's that one from? Oh, that's Knott's too. Okay. Why do I have that on the Knott's folder? Okay, so my Knott's folder is kind of a mess, apparently. Let me pull this out, because this is not all Knott's. My Knott's stuff actually starts out here, separated. Hooch. That's not good. I'm going to have to redo this. So one of my brochures got a little mushed up. But this is kind of cool. So let's see. Welcome, coaster enthusiasts, to Winter Coaster Solace 5 in the Radisson Knott's Berry Farm Resorts. This is talking about exclusive ride time on Accelerator and other coasters, along with the schedule. You may have seen me wear my Coaster Solace shirts. They were a coaster enthusiast event that Knott's had, and we attended a few times. Absolutely love that. We may have actually just come to the oldest thing I have in my collection. So like I said, I have stuff in here I don't even know about. Let's see, how do I get this out of here? You know what? It feels like it's been pushed shut. Let's see. There we go. Knott's Berry Farm in Ghost Town. So this is from a while back. Does it have a year on here? All Started has a picture with Walter Knott there. So this is kind of a neat little deal. The history of the park, and starting with the restaurant, the directors, 20 acres of free parking. Oh my goodness. This is pictures of the kitchen, Ghost Town at night. So this actually predates the rides. Let's see. They got the gold mine, stagecoach rides. There is no rides at all in this. The bottle house, this is amazing. So I think we just found my oldest item. Let's see. Is there a year on here? Not a year there. The little chapel. I don't see a year on this, but there you go. That one's been around quite a while. Okay, let me sit there so I can put back in there. And then I've got. Okay, so here's a Knott's Berry Farm happy birthday button. We've got our Coaster Solace ID and schedules from a couple different ones there. So I got those in a separate folder. I have a ticket here from 2003, 2004. Okay, here I believe this is probably from my first trip there. So this would be 1984-ish or so. This would be at a time when Knott's Berry Tales was still there. Does this have... Okay, so this is how old this is. This might actually be 1980-ish. That is the corkscrew. That was actually the very first inverted steel coaster ever built. So corkscrew is still on this map. That then eventually became the boomerang, and now it's the... I can't remember the name off the top of my head. You've actually got the old soapbox derby racers up here in the corner. So yeah, that's an old map. So yes, got that. And then I do have more recent ones there as well. Knott's Resort. And I've got other, let's see, official brochures in here. What's this? I got 2003 Solace thing. So again, 2004 Winter Coaster Solace. So the 2003 schedule again, and a couple other brochures. So yeah, I've got a couple neat things there. So, but yes, that may be the oldest thing I've got in my collection. I totally forgot about that. Old roller coasters don't die; they just get renamed. I don't know. There's a couple of them that have definitely died and deserved it, but so. Oh, somebody give me something. Yeah, make sure. Donald, thank you so much. I just saw. I was so busy talking, I hadn't even noticed the gift. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Humbled by that. So let's now see if I can get this. Let's see. Brother had annual passes for there until this year. Yeah, until after they couldn't afford certain other amusement parks anymore. Disney's passes have gotten nuts. Absolutely nuts. So, friends with Aaron Tomzak. Good to see you, Marcus. A little bit of lag. Yeah, there will be. So, but yeah, Knott's is a neat park. And like I said, one that I got to go to early on and have loved over the years, and was grateful I got to take my kids there several times for different things. This must be one. There have been a couple times I've worked eBay for various stuff, and this is probably one I got off of eBay. Wish I could figure out what year it was. Just trying to look again and see if there's a copyright, and I don't see one at all. But I mean, very cool. It actually has pictures in here of the Knott family who's in charge of the gift shop and the market. So I mean, really cool when you look at this. So it's from way back. But yeah. Here, okay. Anybody wants to know what it used to be like when Knott's was built and when Disneyland was built? It was all farms. This is still what it looked like around the park then. The first time I actually went to Knott's Berry Farm, they still had a lot of farms around them. It's all gone now. It's all city. But yeah, just kind of a neat look back. So very, very cool. Something fun to look at and remember. And tuck that back into the plastic. So, let's see. How long before Disney takes over Florida? Oh, they'll never take over the whole state. Too many other entities. Just the fact that Disney got their whole region kind of running around them was pretty amazing. So, But no, the state will always look and consider them for tourism, but they've also got other major players there for tourism now too. So no, Disney's never going to run it all. Okay, that goes right there. Let's see. Think of the place I would always pick strawberries from. Yeah. I miss some of our old strawberry fields in Southern California. Donald Trump, feel like you've known me and my family for a long time. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Thank you so much, Donald. I appreciate that. Let's see. Did I hear about the land that Disney bought close to Branson? Disney has not bought any land close to Branson. Myths and rumors. Just like Disney's going to open up a park in Minnesota, and they're going to open up one in Texas, and nope, sorry. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet. It's not true. So, even it rumbles about a fifth park at Disney. Disney has lots of ideas for a fifth park. I don't know if they have any plans for a fifth park. Having four, honestly, it gets people at this great balance of a 5-day vacation, 4 parks. Works really well. I don't know if they will ever put in a fifth park. It's why Universal's working to get to that magic number 4 and keep it there. So, let's see. Wonder what is more computer powered, Disney or NASA? NASA does still. But what is one ride Cedar Point is missing in their park that you think they should have? Ooh. See, the one thing that the Cedar Point does very well is they have a lot of flat rides. They've got a great mix of flat rides and other stuff. Cedar Point needs a dark ride. That's what they need. The one dark ride they had my first visit is long gone. And they don't have anything else. They need a dark ride or two. And by dark ride, I mean the ones where the ride is inside. A lot of us think of the classic Disney Pinocchio and Peter Pan and those kinds of things. Those are dark rides. The ones where you're shooting guns at targets, it's a modern take on it, but it is still a dark ride. So something like that where the whole family rides and you get to experience some sort of story or something inside. They need a dark ride. They don't have one. They don't have a single one anymore. And if you look at the history of Cedar Point, they've had some amazing dark rides in their history. Yeah, they need to do that. Silver Dollar City's not open yet. No idea when they're going to open. And even when they open, I'm going to be playing it by ear and playing it safe. Let's just say I've seen a lot of comments by people online. They can't wait to go and they don't care about safety precautions. And I am high risk. I got to be careful. So anything I do will be very cautious. Let's see. Disney will show plans when they will open on May 27th. Yes, you'll see a lot of stuff on Florida. And I will be doing a video end of this week, first part of next week, where I'm going to talk about all the parks that are reopening, the safety procedures, what they're doing. And I will be giving my thoughts on that as well. I'm taking my time with it because I want to do it carefully and cautiously. I know that there are people with a lot of very strong opinions about what is right and what is wrong. And I want to be respectful of that because I know that I don't want to play, hey, this extreme, that extreme. I believe that we need to be careful and cautious about everything. But I also don't want to put off people who are ready to go because I understand that as well. So I will be coming up and I'll talk about what people are doing and I'll give my opinions on stuff like that. And I'll try to do it gently. One thing y'all may not realize unless you watch some of my preaching videos, I am a person of very strong opinions and I have to be very careful on how I put those sometimes about stuff like that. So I did see a wonderful thing and I'll kind of leave it at this. Because a lot of people say, well, I trust God and other stuff. And I'm like, okay, there's a great deal I saw that said, I trust God and buckle my seatbelt. I trust God and I take my prescription medication. I trust God and I lock my car doors and my house doors at night. It's like, you use a little bit of common sense with it, but yeah. So, okay. There's my public service announcement for this. So, but I know it's hard. I know it's very hard for those people who are out of work, like Matt. I've got a lot of friends that are sitting at home and wanting to go to work. Their money, for many people, their budgets need it. The people that are used to working at sports stadiums, for example, aren't working. So it's hard for a lot of people financially, and so it's balancing. So. If I take my daughter back on X, we see a headline in the news: SirWillow in the hospital after a beatdown. Now, my daughter's 25 years old now. She can make her own decisions. I'm not responsible for that one anymore. So, yes, like the story of the guy who drowned in the flood illustration. Perfect example. So, yeah, you have opinions on things? Claimed on feelings and human next. I'm happy some of you don't see some of the other stuff I record sometimes, because I have times I'm like, bleh! And it's scary. But Craig got caught on one of those once, or got caught seeing one of them once. But yes, I definitely have that, and I have to be careful, and I've actually had to cut way back on my social media. I have things that post on social media, but as far as my reading the feeds and responding, I've had to cut way back because I was getting ticked off and upset and mad at people and throwing in my comments just to show. I was like, wrong. So. And on that great happy note, I do encourage you to be careful. Like I said, things are opening up, which is a good thing, but please keep safety in mind. We are hoping to be able to get out to the zoo, partially because I need to get out and walk and I need to exercise badly. And it's much easier for me to exercise when I'm at a park or a zoo or something like that. So I like doing that, so we're hoping to get out some stuff. Matthew Woodcock, that's the exact kind of question I'm going to save for that other video. So be watching for that later on. But we'll keep safe, be careful out there, and like I say, hopefully I can get a few vlogs out doing other things, and be able to post some actual park tales of doing stuff and doing it safely and cautiously. That is the plan. So. Scarred for life after the sub channel. So, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Thank you for watching. I hope you had some fun. Hope you've been entertained and stuff and enjoyed looking at all of the stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. And that you had fun with the comments and the souvenirs and everything. Thank you for everybody who sent gifts. Cassie, I can't wait to show Amber the dress. That is amazing. And thank you as well to those who donated. I really, really do appreciate that. Hi, Tom. It's okay. I'm happy you're here. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Keep safe. And thanks so much. God bless.